Welcome to Face the State. I'm Ariana Bennett. Thank you for joining us. But we all know grocery prices are bringing some sticker shock these days. And now, after some changes at the federal level, thousands of Northern Nevadans are dealing with the loss of their SNAP benefits. That's driving more people than ever to the Food Bank of Northern Nevada for help. So, some well-known local chefs have stepped up to ease that burden. One of those, Mark Estee, founder of the local food group, is here with me to talk about that. Mark, thank you so much for coming back on the show.
Thanks for having me. It's
always great to have you. Now, this is really cool. We're talking here, and you brought me all these cool posters that we can show. The One Table, One Nevada initiative. Tell me what this is.
So that was a brainchild of the food bank when maybe it was back in December, when really the first started. We heard about people losing SNAP benefits, and the food bank kind of went into like a, oh no, what are we going to do mode? And we reached out and said, how can we help? And they said, hey, this is a really easy thing. If we create a QR code that people can click on and donate, we found a $50,000 person to match up to $50,000. So they said, if you can get us 50 grand, we can match that, so it doubles our effect.
Wow.
So we said, okay, we come up with something. We said, One Table, One Nevada. We put this in so many partner restaurants out there, so many partner businesses. Anyone who still wants posters can get them from us. You know, it has fallen off a little bit, but the need has not gone away. So this really became a quick and easy way for money to go directly to the food bank and be matched. So typically $1 feeds 3 meals. In this case, $1, if we can get to that 50,000, feeds 6 meals. So really, we're putting a push on here. We couldn't be more happy to have you bring me on here to talk about this today. So.
Yeah, I mean, it's important all year long. We do our big food drive in December as well. But now we're seeing, you know, it's like we had during the pandemic, this unprecedented need for the food bank, and we would have expected that after the pandemic that would have dropped off, and it didn't. And we still have these record numbers of people who need help. So, you know, this is a really easy way to help. That $50,000 match is amazing. How far are you toward that goal?
We still have a little ways to go. Last time I checked, we definitely had a need to kind of keep on pushing to get close to that 50,000. Once we hit that 50,000, it kicks, the other 50,000 kicks in. So it's almost like a match grant where they want to get you there. And you know, to your point, you know, the seasonality of food fundraising and seasonality of all the things, but food insecurity knows no dates, it knows no months. It's a day-to-day thing that if people don't understand, food insecurity is not understanding where your next meal comes from, and the Food Bank of Northern Nevada fits that need. It helps people on a constant basis. Over 180 different different food banks work with the food bank. So if they support, I was the project monitor for 10 years up in Incline, and we got a lot of our food from the Nevada Food Bank. So the food bank is the hub or the spoke of the wheel. It keeps everything going. It's the touchstone. If we keep that full, they'll be able to continue to help everyone around, all the smaller food pantries, all these tiny little spots all throughout Northern Nevada. We go way out into the rurals. The need isn't just right here in Reno, it's everywhere, and we take care of all our Nevadans, even to the California side.
So which restaurants, which local chefs joined in with you on this goal?
Well, a lot of restaurants came out. Kevin Ashton is a really big proponent of that. He's our world famous TikTok and Instagram star, the sorority guy chef. He is awesome. Kumo Kev, he jumped in. He did help promote this a little bit. A lot of different restaurants came over. Just specifically around us was Toro Bravo. The guys from Full Belly Deli, put them in all their restaurants. We had people from downtown, Chef Travis' place. Chef Travis came over. He got it at Centro. He came over and got one. So the girls from Squeeze In, the girls from Cheeseboard. They, you know, and I'm sorry if I forget everyone else, but a lot of people reached out and we gave them posters. They came by and picked them up.
This is awesome.
Yeah,
so and some of these great local favorites.
You can go online and see it. There's a QR code. We can email it to you. I can email you your posters. I can get you more posters to kind of continue to get this push going.
Yeah, awesome. We want to hit that 50,000. Love it. Okay, so final message before we move on from this topic. If people want to help, go eat at a local spot. Scan the QR code.
Go eat at a local restaurant. Scan the QR code, reach out to us, find us on Facebook, social media. We posted old posts. I'll have Carly repost all the things we had out there. You just click on that code and you can scan and give. We've had a lot of what we've been doing has been literally a couple dollars at a time. We've asked all our staff, all our servers, and all our cooks to, if they every chance to get a chance, or maybe every other week on a payday, you know, click and give $6. You know, it's going to feed 36 people at this point. So it's all the little incremental pieces. Doesn't need to be a huge amount, but every little bit helps, and every little bit helps to keep the food on the table, and it helps, you know, keep our local community taken care of.
Yeah.
That's what we're about. We're a restaurant group. That's what we do. We feed people. We make people happy through food. And I'm so blessed, and we're all so blessed. We're lucky. We know where our food is coming from, but a lot of people don't have that, and that's it could be your neighbor.
And it is getting harder. Consumer prices are up.
Yeah.
Food prices are up, and it's been a challenging time for, I think, at this point, pretty much everybody has felt it at the grocery store. From a restaurant's perspective, you're buying lots of food. How has that impacted you guys? All these prices going up.
It's a battle. Some places are able to just turn up and raise their prices. That's never been our motif. My partners, Nick and Tommy and Tanya, we say the last thing we know is raise prices. We try to give like a really great quality value meal, locally sourced at a great price. And it's easy to say, oh, if the price of eggs went up, the price of milk went up, the price of butter went up, which has, the price of beef doubled, pork's doubled. So we say, well, we can't really pass that on to our customers. What can we fight for? How can we battle back? How can we ask purveyors for help? How can we look to use different cuts? How can we switch menu? Sometimes the portion maybe size or what we're offering, or just find different cuts to make sure we don't have to continue to raise prices.
Yeah.
So it's a battle. The restaurant margins are so thin as it is, and raising prices in a time when people are in need it doesn't go hand in hand for us.
Well, and I mean, I would imagine that would maybe drive some customers away who are right on the bubble anyway, which then would hurt you. Have you seen any drop in business as people have maybe been tightening the belt a little bit?
Well, knock on wood, we're pretty lucky. We have noticed people. We've been pretty consistent in our guest counts. We do guest counts, and we see how much everyone spends. We try to put more promotions in play to give people a chance to save their money and use it in the right way. So whether that's earning loyalty points through our loyalty program, whether that's especially burger and beer nights, different things we do on Tightwad Tuesday, different kind of promotions to keep people coming in who are budget conscious, and also giving people choices on the menu. You can go to Liberty and have a pizza and a glass of wine and be out of there for less than $25. And you could also go in there and spend $80 on a T-bone steak. Mm-hmm. So we have both the high end and the low end in there to try to keep people involved and going on there. So it is a battle. It's a battle, and I feel like it's our job, and our company belief really is to give people a quality meal at a great price.
And you really have to be flexible, and that's something that it seems like is a big part of your ethos, not just flexibility in the ways you've mentioned, but adjusting the menu, like you said, making what is available with the ingredients that are available instead of forcing an ingredient that might be too hard to find.
I think that's a great point. I think one of the things we do really well is our customers trust us to make the adjustments that are still going to give them the best quality and at the best price for what they're getting. Our local beef program right now, our burgers, I look around at burger prices, I laugh. If you take a menu and say, check our burger prices versus anyone else's, we're about $4 to $5 less for the same exact burger, and our burger is raised here in Nevada. It is 100% local. It is finished on grain, brewery-fed beef, and we're really proud of what we're doing with that. And the idea is, hey, if we can keep, if we're mindful of the prices. I mean, don't forget, we live here too. I go out, if I go out to eat, if we're lucky enough, our family does, we're pinching pennies. We're shopping at the Co-op right now, which has some phenomenal deals on local beef. We're watching every single dollar that goes out of our pockets. I'm imagining that everyone else is doing the exact same thing.
Yeah, I think so. It does seem to be more widespread than I've seen it since the recession, which is kind of an interesting thing to have seen this go from, recession era times when everyone was feeling it to we had this like boom, and now we're kind of back in this penny pinching time. It's a bummer because I think we're seeing a lot of restaurants closing their doors, a lot of businesses that just can't survive in this environment. You are a seasoned restaurateur. For you, seeing this, if you have advice for someone out there who, like a business that is struggling, or someone who's interested in opening a business, what would your advice be?
My advice is, you're thinking about opening a restaurant, don't do it, because it's a pretty brutal existence. It can be really hard. Make sure you have a great understanding. My first restaurant was critically acclaimed. It was amazing, but we didn't make any money. And we made the most amazing food. We had the best music. We had the best drinks. We had a great cocktail program. We were busy all the time. We never made a cent. And the idea was we didn't know how to run a business. Mm-hmm. So you have to have that, whether it's you or you hire somebody, you have a partner. If you find, a lot of times you'll see a partner with a chef and a front of the house person together. Usually they can, each has a different skill set. So I've got the lucky right now. The only reason I've become successful is because I have Tommy and Nick, and the three of us with Tanya, the four of us balance out a really good partnership. And that allows us all to kind of do what we're specialized at. I can tell I'm a good talker. I like to talk my hands, I like to cook, I like to be out and have a little bit of fun, right? Tommy's really meticulous about everything that goes on with the food. Nick is meticulous about everything in operations. Tanya oversees all to make sure all our finances are in order. And if you don't have a clue, those numbers never take a day off. That's my biggest thing I'll tell you is, you may have the greatest food, you may have the greatest service, but numbers never take a day off. And if more money's going out than's coming in, you're going to close your doors. And sometimes it's the hardest thing to close doors. I mean, you look at me and say, I've done well. Yeah, I've also had a lot of failures. So I've ridden that wave. And you're only as good as your last meal. You're only as good as your last P&L, your last meeting, your last day of service. And I wouldn't say it's a fear, but it is something that you walk around with at all times, and you try really hard to make sure that you keep your customers happy, you keep your employees happy, you keep your community happy.
All right, well, that's a great opportunity for us to take a quick break.
Okay.
But Mark, sit tight. Coming up, I will be back with Mark to get an update on his many restaurants and what he's got his eye on next. That's right after the break.